So last night, as of me recording this, I saw the movie Michael. I thought it was a good movie. I don't agree with the critics on their bombing of the movie, but that's a discussion of the quality of a movie for another day. I possibly had the worst theater experience I've ever had in my life at Michael, so I just thought it'd be a good talking point, and I want to see people relate because I feel like more and more as the years go on, this becomes more of a problem. So I'll get into it now. So we get there, it's fine, there's no signs that it's gonna be a problem at all. So the movie starts, and we get about maybe like 5 minutes into the actual movie, and then three separate groups of people walk in. Now already that's kind of something for me that's a little bit annoying. Maybe that's kind of pretentious on me, but I feel like you should get there on time. Don't walk in front of the screen, don't interrupt it, because I'm trying to be immersed. Everyone else there paid to be there to have a good experience, but whatever. I mean, if you're late, it happens. But three groups of people walk in. I'll start with the people who sat right next to us to the left of us. They talked throughout the whole movie. And they would make noises, and they would copy the mannerisms of Michael Jackson, all the hee-hee or whatever. Yeah, they did all that, which is super annoying. They played Instagram Reels on their phone. Phone was ringing, all of that shit. So I was just like, oh my god, man. That's one group of people. Group of girls to our bottom right. They would laugh at every single occurrence that happened in the movie. Every single one. So the film starts, maybe this is a mild spoiler, so you could skip this part. It starts with Michael as a kid when he's in the Jackson 5 with his family. And then we get to the point where it's Jafar Jackson's portrayal of Michael as he's in his older years. And when he first talked, when he first did Michael's like voice or whatever, this girl was busted out laughing. I mean, it was like uncontrollable for them. They busted out laughing. It echoed, reverberated through the whole auditorium. I was like, what the fuck, guys? Are we being serious here? And then there comes a point where he sings for the first time, and then again they bust out laughing or whatever. And all the serious moments too, like there's very serious moments in this film involving his other family members and whatnot. And they laugh, they crack jokes at everything that's on screen. It's just annoying. It's another thing that took me out of it. And then we'll get to our third group of people. They weren't nearly as bad as the other two groups of people I just mentioned. But this group of people, they sat in front of us. Near the end of the film, they started being like our group on the right. They were laughing and kikiing for some reason. I think they were looking at their phone. I peered over to look at them a little bit. I think they were looking at their phone, if memory serves me correctly. Mainly for them, it was just the loud coughing, clearing the throat, shit like that, where I'm just like, it's not as offensive as the dudes on the left talking, girls on the right laughing, but it's still something you're like, guys, can you just sit and be silent? Like I don't know how else to put it. And stuff like this makes me kind of sad, because man, going to the theater, it was like you show respect to the film. I've never been, well, maybe not never. Marvel movies, any superhero movie is one of the worst things to see in theaters because of all the people. They don't treat the film like a film. They treat it like maybe like a circus act or something, you know what I mean? Just so they can ooh and awe at and whatever. And it just infuriates me to no end, because it takes me out of it instantly. I like superhero films for the most part. I'm critical on the MCU particularly, but I like them for the most part. I want to sit down and respect the filmmaker's vision. But if you're ooh and ah and it's just a roller coaster attraction to you, then like, what are we doing? This is not a film experience anymore, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to know, where was the downfall of etiquette? Because when I was younger, at least, no one talked in the theater. No one talked, even through these big blockbusters, dude. No one talked. Any disturbances. Phones were off. It was great. It was great, and I've seen other videos throughout the years detailing what I'm talking about, the same thing. But it just really gets to me, man, because I love the theater experience. It's a unique, one-of-a-kind experience, but I feel like people like this that don't take this etiquette seriously is why the movie theaters are kind of dying. And would consider myself a young, aspiring filmmaker. That's what I want to do eventually in my life. That's my ultimate goal. And to see this disrespect, I'm sure if these filmmakers saw this disrespect of their product, they would not be happy to say the least. I'm definitely not happy, because movie theaters get more expensive by the year. To see Michael, for me, was a $60 trip, including snacks. Tickets, I paid $40. I didn't even see it in IMAX. I went with my girlfriend. We didn't see it in IMAX. We saw standard film. $40 for the two of us. Snacks, when I say snacks, popcorn and drinks. I think it's kind of insane too. At least the theater that I go to, you can get a pizza. Is that not insane to anyone else, or what? That you can chow down on a pizza. The industry is like, oh, why don't people want to go out anymore? Why don't we go out to the theaters? The theaters are dying. No one wants to go out to these theaters because you can't control what people do, right? You can't control what they do, and they just make it a miserable experience for everyone else. So I honestly get the people who opt to stay at home and wait for a digital release. I honestly get them. Now, with all this being said too, I still want everyone to go to a theater, man. I don't want it to die because of some bad apples in the bunch, you know what I'm saying? But I wonder too, I'm interested to hear any experiences of terrible theater audiences you've had to share or whatever. But that's about all I had to say today. This is kind of a rant. I hope you listen to this at work or on the toilet or whatever. But yeah.